Hello and welcome to the third instalment of the Roos News Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show on your home of sport, the community, 91.3 Sport FM. That was a bit of a mouthful. I'm your host, Dave Minear, and I'm back here tonight, joined by my famous cohort in club champion, life member, premiership player, Ian Purcell. Ian, how are you, mate?
Yeah, evening, Vern. I'm quite well. What about yourself?
Mate, not bad, mate. That was a bit of a slow intro for myself.
It's not like the first time we've ever said that either, mate. You'd think you'd have to have that down pat, wouldn't you?
Yeah, after 4 years, you'd think you might have an idea about what you're doing, but no, not in my case, mate.
That's okay, though, mate. We'll get there.
A big show for all our listeners tonight. We've had a sad week at our club. We've had a couple of these sad moments this year, but none worse than what happened this week, which we'll touch on shortly. But other than that, we also had a big round of fixtures against Melville as well. And obviously it was a great result by the A grade, which we'll get to in a little bit. Tonight we're going to have two very special guests on the radio, in club coach Wayne Pearson. And guys, I do apologise firstly if you don't understand a word he says, because neither do we. So the Northern Irishman, he's probably one of the only grade coaches that's Northern Irish descent. But as I said, he's a great man, and he's kindly giving up a few minutes of his time tonight to have a word with us. Also, we've got another club champion, Joel Carney, former Paul Lucas medal winner, and a really good guy. Also, the captain of the fourth grade also. So a big night for all of us here. Perce, first of all, mate, hasn't been a great week. Unfortunately, we learnt of the passing of absolute champion of our club in Ted Hussey, and a champion of WA cricket. Yeah,
look, Vern, it's a very, very sad day for not only the club, but obviously, for Helen and the family. Look, he had been struggling for a little while, and being the sort of man he is, he kept it to himself quite well. And then, unfortunately, he did manage to leave this world and we found out about it on Saturday. Yeah, look, it's one of those guys you're never ever going to replace. Just such a great guy, and all the social media stuff that we've seen and that posted about him. Some very, very beautiful words, such as the stuff you wrote yourself, Dave, which was some very beautiful words. And look, it's very tough. A lot of people around the club always had a lot of good time for him. He poured his heart and soul into the club over many, many years, and not only while his boys were running around, but even to help out others, and did a lot of media work. Always promoted the club and those sort of things. And look, he's a great man who'll be very, very sadly missed.
I think you can never talk too much about exactly what he gave to the club. I think people always think of Ted Hussey and think of Mike and Dave's father, and I think that's quite remiss of people not to actually understand that Ted in his own right was a fantastic human being who obviously gave a lot to the club. He was club secretary for, I think, I can't even remember. But as I said, he's given so much to the club, whether it was his running, taking his Hussey's Hill, whether it was, spending time with guys, just helping them out. And I mean, I remember back a good 14 or 15 years ago now when I was at Scarborough and I broke my finger keeping, he was the one that took me to the hospital, but and he told me to stop whinging. Yeah, I do remember that. But he's just an absolute champion. And, for Mike, Dave, Kate, and also Gemma, and, and especially Helen as well. I mean, it's a really dark week for them, but he really did, I think, as you just touched on before, mate, through social media and stuff like that. And I know we live too much on that these days, but he really did touch a lot of people. And I'm sure everyone out there listening to this tonight all have a special story about the great man.
Yeah, you're definitely right there, and I'm sure that if ever could share all the stories, we would definitely be here for quite a long time. Look, he was also quite in the print media around. The local radio. He was also, quite prominent. Also quite prominent around the WACA on the committee that's called WDCC now, but what it wasn't used to not be called WDCC. But yeah, look,
he was on the first executive, I think.
He was correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So. Yeah. No, that's right. So look, he, like I say, we obviously know that he just put a lot of time and effort, and just like saying, people like our English imports would come over, and he'd always spend, didn't mind getting down and getting up early on a Sunday, getting down to Hussey's Hill, running him into the ground, getting him fits, teaching him all, and like he was never shy in telling you what he thought of you, and that was one of his great attributes. You always knew where you stood with him, and that was probably one of the best things. He was one of the last of that sort of generation too that we had around the club, that would tell you as it was, and that was one of his many, many, many outstanding attributes.
But I don't think it was just that, that's a great part of him, but I also think there was a caring side to the bloke who was, he was very caring of not only the future of the club. But to a lot of the younger guys, he was really helpful in a lot of ways, just in life goals and everything like that. He always imparted his knowledge that he'd given the boys growing up, Dave and Mike, and obviously what he told them. And I think the kids can really relate to that because obviously these two have made pretty good.
Yeah.
And they listen to that a lot. But he's also a credit for his lovely two daughters as well. So he's been a great man for our club. What's one of the biggest things you're going to miss, Purse?
Talking politics with him, Vern. Yeah, many an hour, spent. Maybe one or two of them might have been under a slight influence of a cordial or three, but always loved our politics talk. And when I first mentioned to him, I said, "Oh, look, I might be interested in politics." Oh, Purse, it's a dirty game. You got to understand that, and that was it. And since then, that and his old don't bother going to the gym. No need for mirrors. Get some dusty, rusty old bit out the back and push that. That'll treat you. Just those things with him. But yeah, look, just talking politics is probably my thing for myself. Yeah,
I think he was as a man, he was an absolute gentleman. But I think he, like you said, mate. I mean, he was a very simple man in the way he looked at life, in the sense that you don't have to go and be a superstar. He never, even at I've got it all on my phone from last year's presentation when he was up there speaking, and how humble he was in the way, he's saying he was just very proud of what he's been able to contribute and, being part of our club. And I think that meant more to him than anything else. It's just he will be very sadly missed.
Yeah, definitely, Vern, you're right there. I don't think, everyone that knew him from around the club, just from our club's point of view, we all say the same about him. He was always there, always prepared to help out and, impart his knowledge or help out with anyone that was really in need. So, yeah, look, he will be sadly missed, and once again, wishes go out to his family. Yeah,
well, guys, sorry to start off on a bit of a somber note there, but we couldn't be talking about a lovely gentleman who has been part of our club for a very, very long time. I mean, somewhere upwards of 30 years, I would say. And as I said, it was a sad week for our club and probably a sad week for cricket in WA. I'd also like just to say to the WACA too, thank you very much. It was really kind what they wrote about Ted as well from the people at our club. I thought that was fantastic. Christina Matthews getting out there and saying how much of a help he's been to WACA cricket as well, Purse.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, look, he was very well respected in pretty much every circles, and Melville also, who were involved in the minute silence before the game, so that was a great gesture from them as well. It just goes to show the respect he had in many different circles, isn't it?
Yeah. We even have, I know we'll go back to social media, but even you go and have a look at Twitter over the weekend, and some of the guys that were coming out, I wouldn't have even knew Ted from other clubs, like blokes who played cricket at other clubs who knew him well, and as I said, I think that just proves how far his reach actually went.
No, definitely right. Say, look, we've got to run out of words to say about him. There's that many good ones, isn't there, Vern? So,
Correct.
Yeah, look, like I say, he's that sort of guy, though, that he touched many, didn't he? So
exactly.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Ted Hussey. You're an absolute gentleman, mate, and you're going to be sadly missed at the club, mate. But we're very happy to say that you're going to be resting quite comfortably now, mate, and not going through any more pain there. So thanks a lot, mate, for all the memories, and we'll keep you very close at the club. Don't you worry about that. All right, Purse. Well, mate, the boys, the A grade did it, didn't they, mate? They were a bit down about all this, and I think they used it to fire themselves up, mate. What happened with the ones this weekend?
Yeah, look, the boys certainly did come out and played some very good cricket at stages on the weekend, and what turned out to be quite a wild and woolly weekend, Vern, as they say in the classics. But look, they won the toss and put us in, so we ended up having a bat, and we ended up ending up with 190. We were bowled out in the second last over, but the pick of the batters was one bloke who we love him here on Roos News. Is our Bucky Rogers. Good to see him come back to form with the 73. Now, some of the shots he played were quite sublime actually this innings. It was some of the stuff I was watching from standing near the other ground there, Vern. It was some absolutely outstanding cricket, which is good to see. From a bloke who works as hard as anyone I've ever seen anywhere at cricket.
I agree.
It's good to see him getting some reward. Robbie Richards, unfortunately, didn't have a as successful stint with his 5. Brunner with his 1. Jakey Fawcett also batted well with his 31. They put on 60 odd, which is quite good for them at the time, which going all right. Christian Smith with a 20. Charles, he got run out, and one of the best run outs or stupidest calls, whichever way you want to look at it, for his 2. Kyle Miller with his 14, and Donovan Fry, who continues to impress there, Vern, doesn't he, with his 26. So, and Quelchie, who promoted himself above our 458-game veteran, Jason Parry there, a bit controversial with his one, and 5 not out, and Gary Atkinson, welcome back with the one, but 190 burns, so pretty good effort, really.
No, very good effort, mate. And I think the big one in that innings is obviously the return to form of Johnny Rogers. I mean, Buxton was pretty disappointed not to be taken away with the one-day squad, I would say. Yep. He's done a fairly big pre-season, and he had a great season over in England as well. So he just had to get put the numbers down onto paper here in grade cricket, and it's a great start. As I said, I could see him afterwards. He was he wasn't too happy with getting out at 73 after putting in all that hard effort, and that was probably one of the more difficult. It wasn't a wet deck or anything, but it was a much tougher deck than what you'd normally get at Kingsway.
Yeah, true. Not to say it was a bit, but like Turner there, Vern as well for Melville. Just with his cheeky little sixer, I've just realised there. So it's a pretty good effort. But yeah, look, Bucky would have been a little bit disappointed, but look, he's back to a bit of form, and hopefully he can continue that on. That'd be real good to see, I reckon.
No, definitely, mate. I'm with you on that.
But look, they obviously we had a bit of a bowl, and they had. Gary Atkinson, talk about a pretty fair first over, just a cheeky little 2 for none, and only just Sky and Towers too, the cheeky blokes he got out, both fairly handy cricketers, so
you're not wrong.
Look, very, very good start for us there, and like I say, at 2 for none, 3 for 9, it was always going to be a bit of a struggle for Melville to chase down our 190, and they ended up 9 for 91 in the, they only got one ball in the 25th over, which is quite good because we could actually see the front coming in. And the boys are going, oh, no, they thought they were cruising because of the new Duckworth-Lewis. But then little do they know you have to bowl 25 overs should be constituted a game before it gets rained off. So next thing you know, they were running through and getting around, and they just managed to get it there. And then we could hear this big wind coming up, and oh, no. Next thing you know, just sheets and sheets. That's sheets too, not the other word, of hail. Yeah. Absolutely, just...
was off the chart, wasn't it? I mean, it was a beautiful morning. And the thing was, earlier in the day, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it started getting a little bit overcast, and I wasn't actually at the ground at that stage. I was over in Warwick, but when it hit, mate, it hit like a ton of bricks.
It did, yeah. It was amazing. Like I say, there's some real good photos, and I've got to say, the bloke that got some runs was the first idiot out there doing the old
snow angel
in the snow, and then his captain, the most other responsible person in the team had to follow. So we've got to say them over some really, really good photos. But look at the bowlers. I bet I should run through the bowlers quickly. Gary Atkinson with his 2 for 20 did very well. Quelchie with his 2 for 27. Donovan Fryer once again continuing to impress with his 2 for 36, and Parry with his 3 overs, 1 for 3, and Kyle with his 2 overs, 1 for 3 as well. They were rushing through in there, so look, a great effort from the boys, really.
And against a side that, I'll be pretty honest here, Purce. We've played for a while, and I'm sure a few of the boys who have been playing for a while in A-graded say the same thing. They've been a bit of a bogey side to us in most grades, to be really honest with you. I mean, it's for some reason over the years, Melville's always been a bit of a tough fixture. So great to get these guys, but especially with how many players they've got in there that of state experience. I mean, you're looking at Lukey Towers, Tom Scollay obviously played at Middlesex, Drew Porter, Wiley's a good keeper bat. I mean, they've got some pretty good players in that side, so an even better performance. And I'd say the coach, will ask him when he gets on next, but I'd say he'd be more happy about the fact of how the wickets were so shared around.
Yeah, look, I did speak to you about that after the game. A bit of a monkey off the back type scenario for them, for getting them out of the way, isn't it? Because they can be. They're a very good side. How they have not won it in the last, few years is beyond me.
Oh, exactly.
Like I say, they did get stuffed by Joondalup 2 seasons ago. But look, they're definitely one of the better teams running around. They're very consistent too, because they don't have their guys in and out. Some of these guys are the very experienced players that they've got running around there. They've been playing, say for 7, 8, 9, 10 even seasons of A grade. So yeah, look, very, very good team, Melville, and I'm sure that they'll bounce back from this.
Yeah, and we'll never let them forget as well that they actually lost to Joondalup as well, which is just terrible. I mean, for them to do that to us after the years that we've had toiling against Melville, the least they could have done was win that premiership. But anyway, doesn't matter. That's another story for another day. All right, guys. Well, what we're going to do next, we're going to get our club coach, Wayne Pearson, on the line. And we'll be back just after a quick message from our all-important station sponsors. Back in just a few moments.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Ertech Holdings, Getting It Right and On Time. Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood, contact Andrew Amos today. Sunwise Outdoor Living, for all your patio, gazebo and alfresco needs, contact Rob Fairchild. MTM Physiotherapy, specialising in sports injuries, located in Duncraig. And Stella Premium Services, gardens, parks and lawns, contact Cliff Astall today. station sponsor.
You don't have to be a Shano, Watto, Dizzy or Tubby to play cricket. It's a game for everyone and you can play it anywhere. From the backyard to the beach. It's fun, gets you fit and gives you the chance to be part of a team. And with new formats, including shorter games, it's now even easier to play. So whether you've never played before or haven't played for a while, now's the time to take up cricket. Become part of the Australian cricket team and join your local club or centre. Visit playcricket.com.au and get ready to play cricket.
Station sponsor.
If you're a tradesperson, Kennards Hire has the tools and equipment you need, serviced and ready to go. If you're a DIY, Kennards Hire has amazing stuff that goes cool. If you're a tradesperson, Kennards will give you the right advice to get the job done on time and on budget. If you're a DIY, Kennards will show you how to use it. Excellent. So make Kennards Hire your choice for equipment hire because
Kennards makes your job easy. Station sponsor.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood. Contact Andrew Amos today. Jets Wanneroo, 24-hour fitness workout on your terms. Harden Eastern Conti, accounting, taxation, finance and business planning. Contact Murray McGee today. Subway Manly, located in the Kingsway Shopping Complex. And Resource Instrumentation and Electrical, WA-owned electrical contracting companies specialising in the HVAC industry. Contact Darren Thorne. Station sponsor.
Welcome back to Roos News on your home of sport in the community, 91.3 Sport FM. Now, our special guest tonight, Wayne Pearson, we seem to have a few technical difficulties getting hold of him tonight. So what we're going to do, we're going to firstly go through the second grade now, Purce, and just have a quick look at that, mate. If you can take us through while I try and get him back on the line.
Yes, no worries there, Vern. Wayne, if you're listening, mate, seriously. Look, the boys are trekked on their way down to Tompkins Park, or Millionaire's Corner, as we like to call it, especially up where we're from. But look, Melville won the toss and decided to have a bit of a bat, and they probably got the best of all conditions to bat into, and they ended up with a total of 178, which is on their all out in their 48th over. So pretty good effort from the boys. Adam Smudger Smith there with his 2 for 26, so another very good effort from him. Josh Quelch with his 1 for 38, Bondi with his 1 for 35, so it's another good effort. And it seems to be the guy who made his 2020 debut last week, Johnny Walters, with his 3 for 18, so an absolutely outstanding effort there from Johnny Walters. And Big Brendan Murray with his 2 for 25, and old Graham Atkinson there with his 2 for 35. So look, quite a good effort from them to end up keeping them to 178 there off their, well, just he bowled them out in the 48th over. So
excellent performance there, and well covered there, Ian. I was really proud of you with that, mate. Mate, I think we might have someone on the line here. I'll just see if he's here. Wayne Pearson, are you there, mate?
Yeah, speaking, Matt.
Oh, great to hear your dulcet tones, sir. Mate, I don't know what was happening there, mate. There's a few technical difficulties with getting up that far north, I think, mate. Something like that.
Yeah, it's called Altamont, Matt.
Yeah. Mate, it's been an interesting week for the club. Obviously, a pretty sombre week in the sense of what it started out like. But I think the boys really used it to their advantage, mate. Were you pretty impressed with the performance with the ones on the weekend?
Yeah, very impressed, to tell you the truth. Yeah, something that sort of combines all the hard work we've done so far. We've put a lot of hard work in it this year compared to last year. We're a bit more switched on what we're about, I think. And, Saturday was very good. I was very impressed by them, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, evening, Wayne. My name's Ian. How are you?
All good, mate. Keeping good. Yourself?
Living the dream. You know that, brother. You know that. Hey, mate, this pre-season, you went through and did your level 2 at the WACA. Can you tell us, did you learn what you learnt about it, and if you did, what it was that you learnt from all these exciting people down there to help you out at the WACA?
I don't mind last year, but I was over doing some more of the workshops, which was very good, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I probably feel a bit more comfortable in my role than I did before. Last year was a bit more trial and error. This year has been a bit more planned than what we've done previously. So, I'm comfortable, and we'll probably organise ourselves slightly better. We've started the season in the right tone. I think our fitness has been much better, thanks to the Sean King. And we've probably identified individual things and collective things that we needed to work on from last year. So I think we're ahead of where we should be. But it all comes down to performance.
No, that it does, mate. I was looking earlier. I mean, if we had basically got a win against Rockingham Mandurah, which we were pretty close at the death knock there to get one, all of a sudden we 3-0. But the thing is, mate, what do you see has been a big change since your first season with the way the guys are, as a group? What are some big changes that you've seen?
Confidence, I think, is the big thing. Our group this year is much stronger than it was previously. We've got a little bit more mature players in the lower grades, which helps out there. I think there wasn't a lot wrong with last year. If anything, we're probably a little bit more professional, a little bit more switched on what we did and what we did wrong last year. So we're putting it right this year, which is a learning curve for all of us. Last year was my first year in charge, and this year we're reaping the rewards of that. Also, the group of players that we're working with, they're unbelievable. They're I don't have to do a lot, to be honest with you. They kind of cure themselves if there's anything wrong. It's just a matter of staying honest and staying true. And
okay, mate. Well, I'll just sorry to interrupt, mate. But if you're not doing much, mate, I'm more than happy to take over as head coach.
Yeah, well, it's an easy gig, mate. To tell you the truth.
Well, we'll remember that in next pay review. Yeah. Hey, Wayne. Just on that, this year we had in pre-season, we had 5 of our senior players down there at the WACA, part of the development squad. How much has that really helped you for our pre-season training, with the boys knowing how hard they have to work to actually to try and become part of the WACA setup?
Well, I think with those guys in particular, I think I didn't have to do a lot with those. They're already been nurtured by the WACA. It's the other guys who look at those and probably feel that, we're the right kind of nurturing from us, that they could be there too. That I've no doubt. There's a lot of very talented boys about the club, and you just have to look at the lower grades who's actually come up and played in the higher grades, which keeps it kind of honest, and I think that's what we're really more about than anything. The lower grades in particular, I think last year we needed to work on, and not so much fourth grade because they're like a steam train themselves, but the threes and twos in particular, I think we needed to sort of make those better, and I think this year they should be. Just take a little bit of time to find their feet, I think.
Mate, talking about that, the fourth grade, obviously under the stewardship of Joel, and who's on the show a bit later on, they have been really strong over the last couple of years. Obviously, went out in straight sets last year, which was a bit disappointing after finishing on top. But I think a big thing, I don't know, I'd like to get your thoughts on it. Do you think it's been a really good thing having a few of these older heads sort of looking after that third grade? Joel is an older head now. I mean, as hazard to say, he actually is. I think it gives us a massive opportunity, to bring through, a few more of these kids. Is it something you'd like to see a bit more of, having a few more older guys around, or are you happy with the way it is at the moment with the balance?
I think it's all about the blend, and I think the blend's pretty good with what we have at the minute. It's better than it was last year. I think we were probably missing those older heads last year, and this year it makes the balance a lot better. And I think, like any side, the balance is good. It really does help. I think that's where we really succeeded last year in A grade, more so the fact that the balance of the side was very good. And we could sort of morph into other things from 1 dares into 2 dares, which with relative ease, which was always a good thing. But I think the benefit of where we finished last year gives the confidence to the lower grades to know that, if they do the right things, they'll get the reward, and that's kind of the way we work it.
Hey, mate, this year we did a little bit of a search around trying to look for a third grade captain, and we ended up coming up with young Cam McDonald, who is a bit of young in age but not so in experience. Look, mate, he's certainly started off the season very well. How do you think he will continue on for the rest of the year? And do you think he can probably, as we were talking about earlier, the good blend with some guys like Alfie Peters and Steve Jennings around with him? Do you think that's going to help him?
Yeah, definitely. I've been very impressed with Cam, to tell you the truth. When we thought about giving the job to him, a lot of people probably thought, he's young, he's probably inexperienced. But, to be honest with you, he's captain sides at 8th grade, and he had that experience. The only thing he had was an age on his side. But, I think we're not afraid to give people opportunity. And to be honest with you, I'm so impressed by him. it's actually grown as a player, I find, and I watched him at the Scarborough game in particular. The way he handled the middle part of the innings, it actually set it up for us to win that game. So that was really good. I found that, and just the way he handles his players in a really nice, mature way, much older than what he actually is. But
no, you're definitely right there, mate. He's one of those young men that has got an old head on those shoulders because he has played a lot of senior cricket now, and I mean he's probably had a good 4 or 5 or 4 years at least now of senior cricket. So he's starting to get I think he understands his own game a little bit better. Hopefully he can continue to improve because he's when he gets going, as far as a batsman goes, he can demolish a bowling attack quite easily. So once he starts getting that confidence, I think that's going to be a big thing. But I want to hear what you think about it, though, in this situation, Wayne. It's not a big step, is it, between, third grade to get up to that second grade and then be pushing again?
No, I think they've got to believe they're able to do it, and I don't think that's a problem if you're giving them a sort of carrot as a reward. They have the ability, no doubt. We train very hard, we practice very hard, and to know if they get the opportunity that they'll get it. We kind of set it up that if they do well, we do give them rewards, which keeps them hungry for wanting to. Everyone wants to play let's face it, in the highest grade possible. If anyone tells you anything different than that, they're not telling the truth. That's, I think, the honesty of it is the big thing. If we can keep it honest, and boys playing for places, it brings its own reward.
Hey, mate, you touched on this earlier with Sean King getting down there helping out with the fitness. How important has he been this year in helping you, being able to give you some time away to sort of individually coach players and go and do your little one-on-ones and, pump their tyres up, shoot them down, do whatever it is you have to do?
He actually, to be honest with you, he set up our season. I can't lie. The way he went about it, the way he structured it, he collated information over the winter time and came back with a plan, and we thought about it, and he executed it, to tell you the truth. I just made sure I was there to make sure the boys were doing their jobs, but it's kudos to Sean for what he did, but not just Sean. The other coaches we've got now, and even our net captain, Keith Parry, to come down, it frees me up to do things I need to do.
He's looking sharp too, isn't he, Keith Parry?
Absolutely.
Don Johnson, we were calling him the other day. We reckon he's ripped.
Well, he was a bit upset that he had to go to a golfing day last week and missed his son making an A grade appearance, which he didn't know about till he came back.
Hey, I just think your answer there, Wayne, absolutely. I think that just covers everything for how good Tim Beef's looking at the moment. Hey, mate, I was just going to say, I've got to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed. I don't think a lot of people knew last year that you were actually our premiership coach, because your old mate Kingy there, mate, he was getting in every photo, mate, instead of you, I reckon.
He actually, for the one for grand final, he pushed me out of the road, I think.
that was the one all over the Wacker website, and all of a sudden, guess what? There's this guy on the side. Who's he?
Yeah. Well, we actually don't call him Sean King now. We call him King Sean.
King Sean.
To be honest with you, he's been magnificent this year. He works with what we want. We'll be on the communication constantly, and he's always enthusiastic. He drags boys forward even when they don't want to do the fitness, and he's coming up with another plan all the time, just when they get a little bit bored with what they've done before. So, he's been magnificent, to tell you the truth. But actually, to be honest with you, who I've really been impressed with is been our skipper. Quilty's been unbelievable. Just when you think that he's got to where he needs to be, it goes further. I don't take a lot to do with him on game day. We'll do a little bit of field and have a brief chat with him, and he takes over, to be honest with you. I think the message comes better from him on game day, and he's been all of that and more, to be honest.
Hey, mate, you've obviously had a lot to do with the Wacker, and you've spoken in JL quite a few times. Not only just over the pre-season, but just at the start of the season as well. How much of an influence has it been able to go down to the Wacker, see what drills they do, see how they train, that you can be able to bring back and show the Roos at training on a Tuesday or Thursday night?
That's been really good. It's actually given me a lot more confidence in what I do and what I do, that it makes it look like it's what we need to do. When you copy something like what he does, and to be honest with you, he goes about it in such a good way. He's always, time's always free. He's never a problem if you want to call him, which it's never an issue for him. When you see what way they set things up and the way they go, I'm quite happy with what we do. I think we do it in a good way. We'll keep everyone in a nice frame of mind. You keep them wanting to go to training, which is always a good thing. And it's never that hard, to tell you the truth.
Perfect, mate. Well, mate, thank you very much for joining us tonight. As I said, it's, mate, your first season, mate. You can't do much better than that. Hopefully we don't expect much else, mate. Just that another season in a row, mate. That's all we're back-to-back's all we're asking.
Try and be Hawthorne-esque, will you, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to build a dynasty, isn't that what you keep telling me?
Oh,
exactly.
Mate, exactly. But, mate, thank you very much for your time. I know you're a busy man, and as I said, get back to your family, mate, because I think you spend more of your time at the Wanneroo District Cricket Club than anywhere else, mate. But thanks for joining us tonight, mate, and we'll see you on the weekend.
Yeah, more than glad, boys. Thanks very much for calling. Thanks.
Cheers, Wayne. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Yeah, look, another, like I say, mate, to be honest, I reckon that we didn't even need those subtitles that we had up on our Facebook site there, Vern. He spoke very well and from the heart as always, which is what you expect from Wayne, isn't it?
Like you said, mate, I think he said actually very eloquently. It's it's a word that you wouldn't normally put straight in the same sentence. But he's a lovely man, and as I said, he wears his heart in his sleeve, and he does. He works really hard, and I don't think a lot of people realise the actual hours that go into doing what he does.
Yeah, definitely.
He's got his kids as well, and I mean, thank God they're involved at the cricket club.
That's right. Lucky we got Scott and Petey down
exactly.
there. Exactly.
But I mean, the thing is, the amount of time he gives up for us, and then to be at home tonight, give up a bit more on his night off, mate. It's pretty well. We really appreciate it.
Don't worry, mate. I'm pretty confident that it's the first thing it is when he wakes up is WDCC, and I'm pretty sure it's the last thing in his mind before he goes to sleep, mate. Don't you worry about that, Vern.
No.
Look, he does spend a lot of time, and I'm pretty confident that not everyone knows how much time he does spend, and he does sacrifice a bit of his own work time and that just to make sure he comes past, make sure everything's running right and that. So look, hopefully he can continue to do a good job for the years on.
Definitely, mate. All right, Purcell, I'll cut you off there because we've got...
Thank you. Thanks for noticing that.
No, mate, as I said, technical issues sometimes come about, and as I said, mate, just had to get him back in there. So can you finish off? Just a little recap.
Lucky there was no tools involved with the having to fix a technical issue, Vern. You would have struggled there.
Mate,
yes,
I struggled with buttons, let alone anything else.
I did get to let him know that Melville actually made 178, and the pick of the bowlers for us was once again the blonde bombshell, Johnny Walters with his 3 for 18. But look, not a great deal to report about. We obviously we got the worst of the conditions to bat in, and look, we actually ended up after 33 overs. Which was, not so flash. We ended up at 8 for 89. So, look, boys didn't manage to get the chockies there, but look, just run through it. Brendan Murray with his 6, Mitchie McGee, he unfortunately didn't trouble the scorers. Alex Burton with his 4, Jacob Johnson with none, Gra Atkinson with his 6, and Jesse Budge with his 7. Noddy Henry with his 10, Bondi with his 2. So at one stage there, we were looking at 6 for 27, 7 for 30 we were actually. So look, we were looking in a lot of trouble. And the blonde bombshell, once again, just strolls out to the crease, and he ended up with 44 not out. So trying to save the day there, but unfortunately wasn't able to do that. And we ended up at 8 for 89 when the rain stopped play. So it was a cheeky little win to Melville on that one.
Mate, done that a few times, Johnny Wilder, hasn't he? He's chipped in there as well, which we didn't go on, was the 8.1 overs, 3 for 18.
It's not bad, is it?
So,
really?
And then 44, he's becoming pretty reliable down that end of the
Mate,
to get the runs.
You can see why that Wayne gave him the opportunity in there 2020, can't you? Good to see him get rewarded for a few. Another a la yourself. Another Paul Lucas medal winner there,
Certainly
isn't he? So, look, great to see that. Great to see the blonde bombshell in a bit of form there, isn't it?
Definitely, mate, definitely. All right, mate, well, what we're going to do, just while we're here, before we go and have a look at the 3rd grade and the 4th grade and all other fixtures, we're just going to go to a quick word from our all-important station sponsors, and then when we're back, we'll go through the 3rd and the 4th grade, and then we'll have Joel Carney after that. Back in just a few moments.
G'day, Simon Kadich here for the Rigging Shed. To get to the top level of anything, you need reliability and consistency. The Rigging Shed has been one of WA's top order performers for more than a decade, specialising in providing lifting gear to the state's crane and lifting industry. If you need quality gear, repair, testing and maintenance, they can do it. And if you need best practice, the Rigging Shed has it. Reliability and consistency. That's the Rigging Shed since 2001.
The Rigging Shed, 53 Prosperity Avenue, Wangara, station sponsor.
UltimateSportsMemorabilia.com.au have all your officially licensed AFL merchandise covered. No matter what team you're barrack for, there's a memorabilia piece for you. And with free shipping with every purchase, there's no excuse not to buy now. Station sponsor UltimateSportsMemorabilia.com.au now have the AFL team can cooler fridges in stock as well to keep the drinks cold during the game. UltimateSportsMemorabilia.com.au you, where all sport's greatest days and memories live forever.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Urtec Holdings, Getting It Right and On Time. Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood, contact Andrew Amos today. Sunwise Outdoor Living, for all your patio, gazebo and alfresco needs, contact Rob Fairchild. MTM Physiotherapy, specialising in sports injuries, located in Duncraig. And Stella Premium Services, gardens, parks and lawns, contact Cliff Astall today. Station sponsor.
Welcome back, guys, to 91.3 Sport FM. I'm just being humoured here by Ian John Purcell. But, Purse, we were going through before, mate. We've gone through the first and second grades. Obviously, a win in the ones and also a loss in the twos. Mate, can you take us through the rest of the results, which are the third, fours, 17s and 15s, please, mate?
Love to, David. Thanks for that introduction again. The thirds down at Kingsway, we lost a toss, actually. I think it's the first toss that young Cam Max lost. So Melville decided to have a hit and... Look, they ended up at 228 after their 45 overs, which is a fairly good score. But mind you, in saying that, it's a really, really good deck that Vinnie Clark prepares out there, especially on number 2 on the weekend. It was definitely an outstanding one, and especially when they got such players as Steve or Dorgie Russell running around there. And Dorgie be 42, so he would have played at least 20. I reckon he would have played 19 or 20 years of A-grade cricket near on there because he played as a youth and he was still running around. And so, look, I'd say a pretty good effort from us. With the pick of the bowlers was Big Geno, apart from his pretty good comeback because he bowled a cheeky little 12 ball over to start with. Tell you what they've earned. These umpires were just... He's bowled a couple that were head height, like real good balls. Yeah. The old wide. I think these two umpires are pretty keen just to get involved. Old Marco Sasic and Michael Tyndall there, the referees. But look, he was definitely the pick of bowlers with his 3 for 57 off his 9. Bailey Nylander with his 1 for 34, once again bowling very well. Smith as well with his 2 for 38. Another good performance from him. Young Christian's older brother. I was going to call him young Christian's brother, but yeah, you know what I mean. Christian's older brother. So look, doing really well. And Scotty Pearson, son of Wayne, there with his 1 for 36. Connor Lynch with his 5 overs done for 25, and Moses again with his 2 for 32. So he's going all right. And when rain stopped play there, Vern, we were 1 for 35 after 7 with Slods the man out there for 17 and Connor Lynch 12th not out. So look, we were still going all right, but then the old sleets of hail kept coming down. So look, that was where that match ended up. So the third grade had a little draw there, Vern.
Yeah, well, probably fairly lucky there. It looks like they've done pretty well there, Melville. 228 on that deck in the morning. I mean, it's always not tough, but it's not an easy deck to open up on. They put on a good partnership. So it's probably, I almost lost my voice then. But
the ball's finally dropped. Yep.
But Stevie Jennings, I mean, once again getting in the wickets, but hopefully, mate, the umpires can take it a little bit easier on him on the wides. He bowls express, doesn't he?
I can't wait till he's playing the old 2-day stuff again because the boy has got some serious wheels. He's looking strong and fit, and yeah, it's quite funny. The big opener, he's got a couple rounds there, got out of the way, and then he's got one sort of around just outside off stump, about 4 stump, and the bloke's just standing back and just swinging from, thought he was Ryan Campbell all of a sudden, the old bat whipping round.
Yep.
Don't know what you're thinking, buddy. How about just getting behind him?
Yep.
Yeah.
MS Dhoni.
A little bit scared.
Yeah, you're playing third grade, you're not MS Dhoni.
No,
I think
correct.
That's probably a fairly safe call.
Correct.
But
Mahendra's all right, isn't he?
He is, not too bad. But no, unfortunate for the boys, we couldn't get a result there. But as I said, if it's the Chockies were shared in that one, so hopefully next week we'll provide a better, board or what do you call it? I don't know what I'm talking about. But
fourth grade, how'd they go? Did you say?
Yeah, no, I was about to get to that.
Yeah.
But hopefully it might be a better springboard for next week against Subiaco. All right, now, Purse, going into the fourth grade, mate, can you take us through that before I talk too much again?
It'd be a first, you talking too much. And then the fourth grade also made the trek down down the Mitchell and turned into Conana and that down to old Millionaire's Corner there at Tompkins. And look, Melville again had the best of the batting conditions by they won the toss and decided to bat first, and very good decisions. And they ended up getting skittled on the second last ball for 149 there. So look, not a bad effort from our boys there. Jimmy DiCarlo with 2. Kurt Monahan also got... Jimmy DiCarlo got 3, sorry, my bad. Kurt Monahan got 2. And Braden Myers also picked up 2 as well. So, look, pretty good effort from the boys there. And, we were 5 for 53 after 18 overs in reply. So, fairly lucky they didn't get through to the 20 overs. So that match ends up as a draw there. Braden Myers was on about 15, and that's about it, really. No point in running through the other ones. Look, a little bit of a disappointing effort there from our boys. Obviously, Melbourne had the better of the batting conditions than what we did. But, look, you would hope that they would have learned from last year, where their batting probably did let them down, and their batting let them down last week against Rockingham. So hopefully they take that on board. And, hopefully the fours will be able to come back. But we can probably ask Carney that when we get him on.
We certainly could. And it'd be interesting to see what his thoughts are on it as well, because going forward for this year, that was always been sort of a bit of a problem in the fours, the consistency of runs in that middle order and top order. So hopefully this year they can do it and go one further and make it through to the second round in the finals after, because last year was pretty disappointing, bitterly really disappointing when finishing top and then going out in straight sets isn't what you want. So, so boys dodged a bullet there.
Correct, yeah, look, I think they'll say that. But, or is it, Vern, that our bowling is that good that it just makes our batting look bad?
Correct, Amundo. I reckon that's probably it, mate.
Let's be positive and run with that. So.
Exactly.
So, yeah, look, so that's not a bad effort. But just on the ladders there, as I'm about to run through them, Vern, the A-grade is still moved up one. They're currently sitting third now. So, look, it's a really good effort from the boys with only Dirty Joondalup and Dirty Claremont ahead of us. Joondalup, we haven't had a loss yet, which is pretty handy. So that's a good effort from them. In the seconds, unfortunately, we're down at 12th there, which is probably not an indication of the talent we've got in that team. And hopefully they'll work their way up as the season progresses. The thirds are currently sitting third as well. So really good effort from them under the astute leadership of Cam Mack there. So going all right. And the boys are 8th in the fours, which is very unlike them to be outside the top 6. But look, it's only early doors, and hopefully they'll continue to climb back up that ladder.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting result the weekend because Claremont Nedlands obviously got done over by Wes Robinson Scarborough. I think it was pretty late on. They actually ended up getting beaten. They actually, I think, 25.1. I think it was a similar situation to our game where they just got the overs in, if I remember correctly. So Scarborough got a win there against Claremont, which was Claremont's first loss of the year. So, and pretty good side, Claremont, pretty handy side. So,
not bad, are they?
Yeah, so obviously Joondalup, a good side. Melville, you can see them winning a lot of games this year. Obviously not in that batting performance they gave us, but with the talent they got in that side. So it's going to be a pretty tough year all round again, I think, in the ones, mate.
Yeah, the Rocky boys had another win as well there, Vern. So, yeah. Look, like I say, it'll be a fairly even spread, but you don't really know. Obviously, they only play on the one darts at times. It's always good to see how they go in the 2-day cricket when things are a bit different, isn't it? So
correct. All right, mate. Well, having a look at the under-17s, mate. Can you take us through the results for your nephew's great side?
Yes, mate. The boys under the guidance of Brendan Danaher there, they. Corey Roccaccioli won the toss for the third time in a row and decided to have a bit of a bowl. We've sort of been going all right doing that. But at the end of the allotted overs, Melville was a cheeky little 4 for 282 there with a couple of their boys that were going all right. A couple got 94 and a couple got 63 and a couple of big lads that were bonking them to all parts of the ground. So, look, a bit of a struggle for the boys there. Probably the first time they've really been tested this year, which is good learning experience for them. Corey's first time as a captain where he's had to set fields and actually do something rather than just go, give the ball to Kurt Monahan and he just goes and skittles.
First time he had to talk.
Correct.
Yeah, basically.
No, trust me, that kid can talk.
Oh, he can too.
Don't worry, that one time we had him on the wireless, mate, that's probably the only time in his whole entire life he hasn't been able to talk. And don't worry, Bernie was quite red as well when we bring that up every time, so that's okay.
He's a good man. He's a very good young man, and he's leading that side well. So.
Yeah, and we love the guy here. Don't worry about that.
We do.
But pick of the bowlers was young Matty Purcell there.
Funny that. Funny that. Oh, really?
Mate, I'm trying to be serious here, David. There's no nepotism involved here. Matty with his 2 for 58, and the other pick of the bowlers, Dylan Banks, who actually bowled two very good spells as well, with his 1 for 30 off 10, which is a very good effort, and Vorney Quinlan with his part-time leggies with his 1 for 36 off 5. Should have quit after the first over when he had 1 for none. But anyway, so look, a bit of a struggle this week. The boys are chasing 283 to win. Look, hopefully they put themselves in a pretty good performance. They hopefully need to improve their batting a little bit to do that. But like I say, mate, we're a very big chance there on that beautiful deck that Vinny prepares.
Mate, the other one there that I just noticed, Daryl Power, the umpire. Good to see Daryl back there umpiring. And
Mate, it was an absolute pleasure. One of the young lads he's nicked one up and got behind, and he was filthy with himself. He stood there and stared at Daryl, and walked off, and then you seen him throw his kit. All the toys have gone out the cotton everywhere, and I think he understands that he's an A-grade umpire they had. How lucky we are to have him umpiring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Daryl doing the kids, it's great. So that didn't sound real good, but as I said, maybe umpiring the kids as well. It's a bonus. So
Daryl, he has to work on some Saturday afternoons now. That's why he was down there doing the juniors. So
brilliant. Good old Daryl.
Yeah, good,
an old
good
friend
fella.
of the Wanneroo District Cricket
Correct.
Club.
Former treasurer
was, and also both his sons obviously played there as well.
Correct.
So an absolute gentleman.
He is. And mate, in Darren Thorne's under 15s, look, they had a bit of a tough day down there at Melville. They sort of got down there early, and as we all know, it's right next to the river, so it's obviously suctioning a bit of water. And look, they were going along all right at 1 for 44. Then all of a sudden they managed to collapse and be all out for 62. With the pick of the batters there was Tristan Hobley with his 30. Petey Pearson actually was going really well, and he was 14, so he got barbecued by his partner there. But no one else really troubled to score. It was Lukey Cheshire with a cheeky little 3. But look, in reply, Melville are 5 for 49. So look, a pretty good effort from the boys. And in there, the pick of the bowls, Lukey Cheshire, who we gave a bit of a rev up the other week, has come back to a bit of a form with his 7 overs, 2 for 14. Bailey Richards, 6 overs, 1 for 6. And little Tyrese Gray with his 2 overs, 1 for 15, but got the very important wicket. But Jordan Slattery there, look at these figures, Vern. Cheeky little 5 overs, 1 for 3. Bowled absolutely outstanding, according to young Darren Thorne. So, yeah, look, boys are going to be a bit of a tight one next week. Hopefully the pitch is still doing a bit when they get down there next Saturday.
Oh, it normally is in the morning, though. I mean, it does a bit in the afternoon. So
it does start at 8 in the morning.
Exactly.
So
and this week, there's going to be, there's supposed to be a bit of rain this week, isn't there?
Yeah, let's just say it.
Yeah, sounds good. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about. All right, mate. Well, so that at the moment we are sitting, precariously on the edge there. So hopefully we can get over the line on that one. All right, guys. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to go to one last quick word from our all-important station sponsors, and then when we get back, we're going to have our last guest of the night, the great Joel Carney. Back in just a few moments.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Urtec Holdings, Getting It Right and On Time. Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood, contact Andrew Amos today. Sunwise Outdoor Living, for all your patio, gazebo and alfresco needs, contact Rob Fairchild. MTM Physiotherapy, specialising in sports injuries, located in Duncraig. And Stella Premium Services, gardens, parks and lawns, contact Cliff Astall today. Station sponsor.
You don't have to be a Shano, Watto, Dizzy or Tubby to play cricket. It's a game for everyone, and you can play it anywhere. From the backyard to the beach. It's fun, gets you fit, and gives you the chance to be part of a team. And with new formats, including shorter games, it's now even easier to play. So whether you've never played before or haven't played for a while, now's the time to take up cricket. Become part of the Australian cricket team and join your local club or centre. Visit playcricket.com.au and get ready to play cricket.
Station sponsor.
If you're a tradesperson, Kennard's Hire has the tools and equipment you need, serviced and ready to go. If you're a DIY, Kennard's Hire has amazing stuff that goes cool. If you're a tradesperson, Kennard's will give you the right advice to get the job done on time and on budget. If you're a DIY, Kennard's will show you how to use it. Excellent. So make Kennard's Hire your choice for equipment hire because
Kennard's makes your job easy. Station sponsor.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood. Contact Andrew Amos today. Jets Wanneroo, 24-hour fitness workout on your terms. Harden Eastern Conti, accounting, taxation, finance and business planning. Contact Murray McGee today. Subway Manly, located in the Kingsway Shopping Complex. And Resource Instrumentation and Electrical, WA-owned electrical contracting company specialising in the HVAC industry. Contact Darren Thorne. Station sponsor.
Welcome back to Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show on your home of sport in the community, 91.3 Sport FM. And on the line now, we've got our very special guest tonight. He's an absolute gentleman. He's a former Paul Lucas medal winner. He's a grand finalist and premiership player. He's also one of the sponsors at our club. Joel Carney. Jolie, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, g'day, Dave. I'm very good, thanks, mate.
Mate, it's been you've been a bit crook lately, buddy. You've been a little bit under the weather, apparently, Purce was telling me. You had a little bit of time off, mate. That's not like you, mate, to get the man flu. I don't think I've ever seen you crook.
Mate, I tell you what, when us guys get the man flu, we get it hard, don't we?
We do, mate. We do.
Yeah. No, I had a strict case of the fever, mate, and it just sort of snowballed from there. So it sort of put me out of action for a week, mate, but, you know, what can you do?
Exactly, matey, exactly.
Carney, it's Percy, mate. How you going?
Uncle Perce, very good, thanks, mate. And yourself?
Yeah, really, really well, thanks, mate. Mate, in the off-season, you reached the ripe old age of 30 and also got engaged, mate. You want to care to let us know how that all went down?
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, it happened at my 30th birthday, and I surprised my very beautiful and now fiancée Tammy on the night in front of everyone during speeches, and it's fair to say she was shocked and so was everyone else, and I could only do it after about 15 cordials under the belt, mate. But it was definitely a night to remember, and everyone had a great time.
Just quietly, little bro, mate. She's a pretty lucky woman, mate, to get a rig like that at that age. I mean, geez, there's not many 30-year-olds, mate, going around with a rig like yours, mate. You're looking pretty good these days, big fella.
Oh, you're too kind, mate, but to be fair, I'd be the one walking around saying that I'm the lucky one, for sure.
Mate, this season, it's obviously pretty disappointing. I know you were last year with the finish off with the fourth grade last year, and the way we sort of just petered out without much of a fight at all, really. Mate, this year you obviously want to be in the similar sort of position come finals time, in the sense that where we were on the ladder. How is this year panning out so far, mate? I know you've had a little bit of time off. How you feel about the squad so far, mate?
Well, look, I think what we lacked last year was our depth and experience in the batting lineup. I thought our bowling was always in second to none. We'd always bowl teams out for around the 100 mark, and for any batting side not being able to chase 100 is, well, there's your fault straight away. So definitely from the guys in the top 7 or 8 last year, now coming into this year, there's another year of finals and season under their belt of experience, and to have guys like join the club this year, like Matt Fawcett, who we all know played a lot of A grade for the club, and Aaron Hall, and even Lloyd Quinlan, some older blokes to come and shed some experience in the batting lineup, and I just really hope that they can find their feet and answer the questions that we've been asking.
Hey, Carney, what's sort of your game plan that you do give to your batters, knowing that before you do head out there and take them on?
That time, basically, first, there's I think the difference between the lower grade batsmen and the ones and twos is more of a mindset. I don't think the skill is always such a difference, but a lot of the guys in the lower grade get themselves out. They don't get out to a better delivery or what. So it's it's playing the wrong ball at the wrong time. And as soon as our batsmen learn to just get past that, then they'll definitely have longer times at the crease. But to bat our overs out and to be able to do that in a lower grade, I think you'll find 95% of the time you'll win the game.
Mate, having a look at the side this year, it's a very young side. I think that's pretty obvious. How are you finding that? Or are you enjoying it like that? Or would you prefer a couple other older heads in the side?
Well, the older heads like Matty Fawcett, as I was saying, Hawley and Quinlan, they definitely help. Like last year, I actually think was even younger. And it was quite hard at some times, especially with quite a few 17s and what so. But, you know, it's always nice to have a good blend and mix of age, and it's good to have these young kids, like for instance on the weekend we had young Taylor Farmo and Monahan playing in our side, and you could see it in their eyes and their face that they just love being out there with us, and they really look up to the way we go about our cricket, and it's great to be able to sort of feed that down to these sort of kids coming through the ranks.
Mate, you've probably had about four juniors have played for you this year. Any of them really have stood out for you and think they might be able to take their careers a lot further?
Absolutely. Well, the four that have played for us so far, as I said, Monaghan Cattle Farmer have been brilliant for us on the weekend, and we had young Bailey Richards the week before who his first 4 overs were 4 maidens in a one day, which is, you can't ask anything more for an under 15. And young Yan Estelle as well, taking 4-fer against Rockingham the other week. So he's come in leaps and bounds. I've been watching Yan since he's joined the club, and he's just growing as a bowler and as a kid. He's got a lot to learn, like a lot of the younger kids and the other kids do. But I definitely see something in the future for him and these other kids.
Mate, who's the biggest bolter for you this year to go up the grades? Who's one that you see, without putting too much pressure on any particular person or any one, are there a couple, maybe give me a couple of examples of guys that you feel now could play at a higher level this year?
Yeah, I think Braden Myers, you might be a little bit surprised by it. If he can, as I was mentioning before about keeping your head at the crease and knowing when to play the right ball, when he can sort of come past those little situations properly, I think you'll be surprised he might be playing second day before you know it. He really picked up the ball very well. Donovan Fryer, who already is playing A grade this year, I think there's a prime example. Like he was struggling in the 4th grade 2 years ago, and now he's just looking like class in the A grade at the moment. So true. Yeah, it's great to see.
Hey, mate, also, we just wanted to say from us guys here, we really do appreciate your sponsorship this year of the club with JC Plastron, mate. Everything going all right with the work out there too?
Oh, no, thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, work is fine. It's flat out at the moment, mate. It's, as you both know, I like helping out guys around the club and doing a few rendering jobs when I can, but
when you're not on holidays.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. We're not overseas, yeah.
Shush.
Hey, mate, and obviously making a spare $1 or two, driving around a new big flash black rig. Bit different from the old worn out types you used to drive around in.
Let's just hope the tax man's not listening to us, all right?
Oh, mate, you truly are a champion, mate, and have been a great mate to both these blokes in this in here tonight. And but mate, we're really proud of you, and it's great to see you've got a great leadership model in there, mate. You're looking after those young fellas and really pushing them to get up in those grades, mate, because that's what your job is down there, and to make sure that we're giving them those opportunities and they're learning from the right people. So, mate, you're doing a great job down there, and as I said, good luck for the rest of the season.
No, thank you both very much, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank both of you for the enjoyable Monday night evenings that I have every week, and I'm sure the rest of the club and other people do as well. You're doing a great job, and thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. Very, very kind words, Carney. Very, very kind.
No worries, boys. We'll have a beer soon.
Look forward to it, mate. You take care, buddy. We'll see you shortly.
You too, lads.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No, he's a good man. He really is a good man. And as I said, I think the thing is about him, he wears his heart on his sleeve. And, no one took it harder last year when we weren't performing, in the finals and stuff like that than Joel. As I said, he leads from the front. He tries to. And as I said, he's got, like I said, I don't think any words could better describe him than wears his heart on his sleeve, but loves the club more than anything in the world. He is just 100% bleeds it, doesn't he?
It's why it's so good to see him in that sort of role, because the kids can see the passion that you can still have as a 30-year-old, playing around. I swear to God, I still can't believe he's 30. I would have thought he was about 45. It seems like he's been around the club for that long. Yeah. But he looked real good, passionate supporter, loves his cricket, loves getting there, helping the boys out, and not too bad the super coach too, Vern.
No, exactly. He's very good at that. I'll tell you, he'd be coming up now, I reckon, Carney, a few years ago, he had a couple of good runs up to second grade. I think he got to at the highest point of his career. And that was also the year that he went back and won the Paul Lucas medal. So he's obviously been a bloke who has performed over the years. I can't believe it. At 30, I reckon he would have played at least about 160, 170 games for the club. I reckon he would be now somewhere around that mark.
Yeah, I'd say so quite easy. But what we also always do forget is his knee troubles that he has had, and trying to push through it. You know, like he could have quite easily just said, "Oh, look, I can't play," or "I just want to try and play as a bat." But like I say, he just loves it. Loves running and throwing that left arm around. You know, pushing off the sight screen. You know, still think he's a big fiery fast bowler. And look, it's great to see. If we only had sort of, 4 or 5 more blokes like that running around the club helping out like him, it'd be a better place. Maybe yourself, you're a young fella, Dave, maybe you should get down to training.
Oh, maybe after Christmas, mate. As I said, it's if I can add any help to anyone, I love to be part of it because we all love the club and all we want to see is the club do well. So, Joel, thanks for joining us tonight, mate. It was great to have you on the wireless again, sir. Now, have we got any other things we want to go over before we finish up this evening, sir?
Mate, no, nothing too exciting, mate. Just maybe the Facebook page if people want to get on there and give it a few likes if you do out there, and we'll start to make sure we update it, and maybe we'll put another new photo on, and
good idea.
Hopefully we can. Probably it won't be a good looking blokes because it's us, but look, like I say, get on the Facebook. It's facebook.com.au/Roos News.
Correct, and you said that like a true professional.
Like I almost knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, didn't I, man? I'm glad you said almost.
But also this week, just want to wish the under 13s and 14s got their first game v Subi Floriat this week. So I just want to wish Diesel and Andy Billington's teams all the best for this week's games. Yeah. So
good luck, boys.
Start off the year with a win, all the young lads.
Well, that's the future of our club, mate. We say it every year, don't we? I mean, we're only as good as those young men coming through. So as I said, good luck on the weekend, boys, and Diesel doing a great job down there. So, all right, guys, well, that's about all we've got time for tonight on our fantastic little show down here at the glorious Fremantle end of the world down in Hamilton Hill. But first of all, we just can never thank these guys enough, as you know. What do you want to say, Ian?
I'm going to miss you next week, Vern. Hopefully we'll have Craig, Bunny Warren and myself back in here.
Actually, we should mention that to our the people who follow us here. Craig, Bunny Warren back on the airwaves hopefully next week with IJ Purcell. And, so it should be a good one.
No David Vernon.
Don't get it mixed up with Ian Poulter, but it's Ian Purcell. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. But first of all, we just want to thank a few of our all-important sponsors who, as I said, none of this would be possible without them. We've got Urtec, Gavin Miller, Northside Residential, Andrew Amos, Stella Premium Services, Cliff Estelle, Sunwise Outdoor Living, that's Robbie Fairchild, Hardin Easton Conti, Murray McGee there, MTM Physiotherapy, Brad Hart. Who's the next one, Ian? Jets Wanneroo, and who's that?
Caspar.
Subway, Madley, David Fritz. Resource Instrumentation, Darren Thorne. Phoenix Insurance Brokers, Shane Kaiser there. Total Industrial and Safety, Sean Bennett. ADL Electrical, Andrew Lucas there. JC Plastering, the man who we just had on the airwaves, Joel Gunny. Thank you, Jolie. And the one-stop shop for all your alcohol, beverage, or even natural beverage needs, I would say, Liquor Barons in Greenwood, and that's Chris and Karen DeZotis. Well, guys, thanks very much for joining us tonight, and as I said, we look forward to speaking to you next week. And once again, Vale Ted Hussey. Good night.